Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on, Luminators? Bright and shiny ones, juggernauts, observers, participators, benevolent determinators. Living from the inside out, taking care of business. Striving and thriving in our own lane, our own unique dimensional reality. You all have one, you know that, right? We're just bumping up against each other's unique dimensional reality that we create. True story. It's all about your thinking, your four brains, head brain. Which side are you living on? What are you using, the left or the right? Really? You need to make friends. Get over the middle, make some friends over there. Use your whole brain up here. Let's start here. This is where the action happens here. Belly brain, your intuition, your body brain, your electromagnetic plasmatic. Amazing. 50 trillion cells. The biology of belief. Dr. Bruce Lipton. Get the book. Just a recommendation. Not making anything off it. Don't worry about it. Anyhow, so where we left off, we're still in the first chapter. Boston C takes his time. You know, some days I feel like, is anybody getting anything? But the answer is yeah. This guy. We just keep going, keep moving, keep overcoming. Hope everybody's doing well. Boston C here, Boston C. Go to abovethesun.io, abovethesun.io. Check us out. P48, URST. You'll figure it out. Follow Boston C on X, at Above the Sun Life, at Above the Sun Life. Get your news there, below the sun. Just skimming headlines. You want more info, you read the article. Right? You loving big out there? Practicing loving big? Yeah. Let's learn a little bit more about our 50 trillion cells. Each one is alive. It knows what to do. It's looking to make friends, and it does. It self-assembles. But where did all that information come from? So this is about, what do we got? 4 pages? But I'll try to read fast. All right, we ready? Cells as miniature humans. All right, so there's 50 trillion of you. Each one is a mini you. You're powerful and unstoppable. This is Dr. Bruce talking. As it turned out, that histology course was the most exhilarating and an intellectually profound period of my academic career. Free to teach the course the way I wanted to teach it. I ventured into a new way of covering the material, an approach that had been roiling in my brain for several years. I had been fascinated by the idea that considering cells as miniature humans, I love it, not a problem, would make it easier to understand their physiology and behavior. As I contemplated a new structure for the course, I got excited. The idea of overlapping cell and human biology rekindled the inspiration for science I had felt as a child. I still experienced that enthusiasm in my research laboratory, though not when I was mired in the administrative details of being a tenured faculty member, including endless meetings and what for me were torturous faculty parties. Well, that must have been a lot of fun. Anyhow, stay funny above the sun. I was prone to thinking of cells as human-like because after years behind a microscope, I had become humbled by the complexity and power of what at first appeared to be anatomically simple, moving blobs in a petri dish. In school, you may have learned the basic components of a cell, the nucleus, that contains genetic material, the energy produced in mitochondria, the protective membrane at the outside rim, and the cytoplasm in between. But within these anatomically simple-looking cells is a complex world. These smart cells, 50 trillion of them, wicked smart, employ technologies. Where did the technology come from? I don't know, Boston, see? All right, go do the research. Big love. Simple looking cells is a complex world. These smart cells employ technologies that scientists have yet to fully fathom. The notion of cells as miniature humans that I was mulling over would be considered heresy by most biologists. Oh well. Trying to explain the nature of anything not human by relating it to human behavior is called anthropomorphism. True scientists consider anthropomorphism to be something of a mortal sin, and ostracize scientists who knowingly employ it in their work. However, I believe that I was breaking out of the orthodoxy for a good reason. Biologists try to gain scientific understanding by observing nature and conjuring up a hypothesis of how things work. Then they design experiments to test their ideas. By necessity, deriving the hypothesis and designing the experiments require the scientist to think how a cell or another living organism carries out its life. Applying these human solutions, i.e., a human view of resolving biology's mystery, automatically makes these scientists guilty of anthropomorphizing. Yeah. No matter how you cut it, biological science is based to some degree on humanizing the subject matter. Actually, I believe the unwritten ban on anthropomorphism is an outmoded remnant of the Dark Ages, when religious authorities denied any direct relationship existed between humans and any of Big Love's other creations. While I can see the value of a concept when people try to anthropomorphize a light bulb, a radio, or a pocket knife, I do not see it as a valid criticism when it is applied to living organisms. Human beings are multicellular organisms. We must inherently share basic behavioral patterns with our own cells. Brilliant. I'm in. However, I know that it takes a shift in the perception to acknowledge that parallel. Historically, our Judeo-Christian beliefs have led us to think that we are the intelligent creatures who were created in a separate and distinct process from all other plants and animals. This view has us looking down our noses at lesser creatures as non-intelligent life forms. Ever get that feeling that somebody's looking down at you like a non-intelligent life form? Yeah, you know who they are. Especially those organisms on the lower evolutionary rungs of life. Nothing could be further from the truth. When we observe other humans as individual entities or see ourselves in the mirror as an individual organism, in one sense we are correct, at least from the perspective of our level of observation. However, if I brought you down to the size of an individual cell so you could see your body from that perspective, it would offer a whole new view of the world. When you look back at yourself from that perspective, you would not see yourself as a single entity. You would see yourself as a bustling community of more than 50 trillion individual cells. So you got to rewire your brain to start getting that on the inside in the days ahead. All right? and take out of anything, any book, anything Boston C does, eat what you like, spit out the bones. All right? There you go. As I toyed with these ideas for my histology class, the picture that kept recurring in my mind was a chart from an encyclopedia I used as a child. Under the section on humans, there was an illustration with 7 transparent plastic pages, 7 of them, each printed with an identical overlapping outline of the human body. On the first page, the outline was filled in with an image of a naked man. Turning the first page was like peeling off his skin and revealing his musculature, the image within the outline of the second page. When I turned the second page, the overlapping images of the remaining pages revealed a vivid dissection of the body. Flipping through the pages, I could see in turn skeleton, brain, nerves, blood vessels, organ systems. We're an amazing freaking technology. We're a love technology. Just cooperate it and use it properly. It's not rocket science there, companions, right? For my Caribbean course, I mentally updated those transparencies with several additional overlapping pages, each illustrated with cellular structures. Most of the cell structures are referred to organelles, which are its miniature organs suspended within a jelly-like cytoplasm. Plasma. Organelles are the functional equivalents of the tissues and organs of our own bodies. They include the nucleus, which is the largest organelle, mitochondria, the Golgi body, and vacuoles. The traditional way of teaching the course is to deal first with the cellular structures, then move on to the tissues and organs of the human body. Instead, I integrated the 2 parts of the course to reflect the overlapping nature of humans and cells. Brilliant, Dr. Bruce. I taught my students that biochemical mechanisms employed by cellular organelle systems are essentially the same mechanisms employed by our human organ systems. Even though humans are made up of trillions of cells, I stress that there is not one new function in our bodies that is not already expressed in the single cell. Yep, pre-wired, right off the shelf. Virtually every eukaryote or a nucleus-containing cell poses the functional equivalent of our nervous system, digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system, and endocrine system, muscle, skeletal system, circulatory system, integument, skin, reproductive system. That's why I'm not a doctor. You guys make all that money. Oh, don't follow the science anymore. Yeah. And even a primitive immune system, which utilizes a family of antibody-like ubiquitin proteins. All big words. I also made it clear to my students that each cell is an intelligent being that can survive on its own. Think about that. It's a big deal. As scientists demonstrate when they remove individual cells from the body and grow them in a culture. As I knew intuitively when I was a child, these smart cells are imbued with intent and purpose. They actively seek environments that support their survival while simultaneously avoiding toxic or hostile ones. Like humans, single cells analyze thousands of stimuli from the microenvironment they inhabit. Through the analysis of this data, cells select appropriate behavioral responses to ensure their survival. Your cells are fighting for you. All right? Work with them. You can heal your own body and mind. You know that, right? You got to choose to and have stick-to-itiveness, stay in power, do hard things for a long time. Single cells are also capable of learning through these environmental experiences and are able to create cellular memories, which they pass on to their offspring. For example, when a measles virus infects a child, an immature immune cell is called in to create a protective protein antibody against that virus. Right? The bully in the schoolyard. Think metaphorically too. In the process, the cell must create a new gene to serve as a blueprint in manufacturing the measles antibody protein. First step in generating a specific measles antibody gene occurs in the nuclei of immature immune cells. Among their genes, we're winding down. Among their genes are a very large number of DNA segments that encode uniquely shaped snippets of protein. By randomly assembling and recombining these DNA segments, immune cells create a vast array of different genes, each one providing for a uniquely shaped antibody protein. When an immature immune cell produces an antibody protein that is a close physical complement to the invading measles virus, that cell will be activated. Activated cells. You're an activated cell. 50 trillion activated cells employ an amazing mechanism called affinity maturation that enables the cell to perfectly adjust the final shape. You're in final shape mode of its antibody protein so that it will become a perfect complement to the invading measles virus. Where's the bully in my schoolyard? Using a process called somatic hypermutation. Activated immune cells make hundreds of copies of their original antibody gene. However, each new version of the gene is slightly mutated so that it will encode a slightly different shaped antibody protein. The cell selects the variant gene that makes the best fitting antibody. Many are called, few are chosen. This selected version of the gene also goes through repeated rounds of somatic hypermutation to further sculpt the shape of the antibody to become a perfect physical complement of the measles virus. When the sculptured antibody locks onto the virus, it inactivates the invader and marks it for destruction. Yep. A lot of malevolent, corruptor invaders are being inactivated, deactivated, and marked for into the smoke, thus protecting the child, the innocent ones on the planet that should know better, that need to do better. Protect the child from the ravages of measles, impotent, and DOA, and all the BS that's out there. There you go. It's all finished, coming to an end. Watch, wait for it. And stick around, stay to be amazed. The cells retain the genetic memory of this antibody so that in the future, if the bully comes back, if the individual is again exposed to the bully, the cells can immediately launch a protective immune response. Right? You're an energy beam. The new antibody gene can also be passed on to all the cell's progeny when it divides, as you're taking over your thought life. You're thinking different. Changes your brain, changes the cells in your body. True story, trust and truth, TNT about the sun. In this process, not only did the cell learn about the bully in the schoolyard, it also created a memory that will be inherited and propagated by its daughter cells. This amazing feat of genetic engineering is profoundly important because it represents an inherent, intelligent, mechanism by which cells evolve. Companions. Amazing, right? We just got to look at everything that's happening, question everything. But this body at the cellular level, your electromagnetic, plasmatic, something to all of it. You just got to want to lean in. Open up your mind. Put your big boy pants on. You're unique. You have your own unique dimensional reality that you create. Just level up your game. Both sides, right? Whole brain, use your whole brain. Your heart brain, how's your intuition? Listen to your intuition. It's a spiritual gateway. It's a good friend. It'll serve you well. All right, that was good. My head just went. Right, so what's next? Next time around? The origins of life. Smart cells getting smarter. Yep. You're getting smarter. You're a juggernaut, powerful and unstoppable. You're a benevolent determinator. Working on your character. It's all about character. So good. All right, companions. Boston C gonna let you go. Stay in the way, on the path. And until next time, Boston C, up and away.